Okay, so do you remember what all points we were discussed during that class? What do you mean by electrochemistry, Punya?
It is a branch of chemistry that deals with the interconversion of electrical and chemical energy.
Punya, can you say it little more louder? I can't hear you.
It is a branch of chemistry that deals with the interconversion of electric and chemical energy.
Very good, very good. Interconversion of electrical and chemical energy. And it is one of the branch of chemistry. That's right. Then what about the difference between electrochemical cell and electrolytic cell? Sharon, can you tell me?
In electrolysis, the chemical reaction occurring due to the passage of electric current,
Hmm.
and in electrochemical reaction, the chemical reaction in which electric current is produced.
Yeah, that means just opposite to each other, right? In electrochemical cell, from chemical energy, electrical energy is produced. And in electrolytic cell, from electrical energy, chemical energy is produced, right? Then give one example for an electrochemical cell. Adul, can you tell me one example for
Well,
electrochemical? Which one?
Daniel cell.
Very good, Daniel cell. Then which are the electrodes there in Daniel cell, Michael?
Can you
Elec-
say the question?
yes, which are the electrodes that are used in Daniel cell?
I don't remember.
Why? There are two electrodes there. Do you remember that figure? Two electrodes. Aditya, can you help him?
Ma'am, cathode and then
Yeah, which electrodes are used as cathode and anode? Which elements? Nandana, can you tell me?
zinc and copper.
Very good. Zinc and copper. Both anode and cathode is there, that's right. But here in the case of Daniel cell, we are using zinc and copper. Okay. Okay, fine. Then what about redox couples? Redox couples. Achyut, can you tell me?
Like which undergo oxidation and reduction at the same time.
Yes. The reduction half cells and the oxidation half cells, they are together known as redox couples. That's fine. Okay, all of you, please switch on your videos. Okay, then the next thing we are going to learn is electrode potential. Okay, electrode potential. Adul, Gauri, Mehak, Rijas, Naurin, Aryan, Ashwin, Nia, Evelyn, Steffi, Meenakshi, all of you. Okay, so you have learned that zinc and copper are the electrodes in Daniel cell. Then what about the electrolytes? Which are the electrolytes used in Daniel cell? Anyone? Electrolytes. That means solutions used for this purpose. Gauri?
CuSO4 and ZnSO4.
Yeah, that's it. Zinc sulfate and copper sulfate are the electrolytes. So, zinc and copper are the electrodes used, and zinc sulfate and copper sulfate are the electrolytes used in Daniel cell. Okay, so at each electrode electrolyte interface, at each electrode electrolyte interface, that means the interface between zinc and zinc sulfate and the interface between copper and copper sulfate, there is a tendency of metals from these electrolytes to deposited on electrode. Okay, there is a tendency of electrolytes to move from electrolyte to electrode. And in the same way, some metals have a tendency to move from electrode to electrolyte. Okay, those who are moving from electrolyte to electrode, they were positively charged. I will show that figure, just wait. Okay, is this image clear for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
just 1 minute. Okay, fine. So this zinc sulfate and copper sulfate, these are the electrolytes. Okay, and these zinc and copper, these are the electrodes. Some of the ions from this electrolytes, they move from this electrolyte to the electrode and deposited here. They have positively charged. Okay, and some metals, they move to electrolytes from electrode and negatively charged. So there is a tendency of both these electrodes and electrolytes to move from their own place to another. This is clear? Both metals from electrodes and the ions from electrolytes, they have a tendency to move from their own place to another. Clear? Equilibrium, both this positively and negatively charged ions are formed. Okay, both this positively and negatively charged ions are moved. One electrode may be positively charged and other may be negatively charged. That's depend upon the movement from electrode or electrolyte. Okay, those who move from electrolyte to electrode, they were positively charged, and from electrode to electrolyte, it may be negatively charged. So there are two types of charges there: positively charged electrode and negatively charged electrode. So based on this, there is one term, that is electrode potential. Okay, electrode potential, that means there is one change between the charges among electrode and electrolyte. You have to just focus on this point. Electrode potential, due to the movement of these ions or metals from electrode and electrolyte, and electrode potential is created at equilibrium. Okay, and electrode potential is created at equilibrium. Potential difference developed between the electrode and the electrolyte, which is called electrode potential. Okay, potential difference, you know about that, right? Potential difference, change in its charge, it creates some voltage variations. That's it, potential difference. So a potential difference developed between the electrode and the electrolyte, which is called electrode potential. Is this clear? It is due to the movement of ions or metals between electrode and electrolyte. That's it. There is a term known as standard electrode potential. Okay, standard electrode potential. It is similar to that of electrode potential, but the only difference is that the concentrations of all the species involved in a half cell is unity. That means 1 molar copper sulfate or 1 molar zinc sulfate should be taken in that beaker as electrolytes. Then it is known as standard electrode potential. Okay, when the concentrations of all the species involved in a half cell is unity, and the electrode potential, it is known as standard electrode potential. There is no other difference. We have, in the case of Daniel cell, there are two types of electrolytes, zinc sulfate and copper sulfate. Both should be in 1 molar concentration. Then it will known as standard electrode potential. That potential difference is known as standard electrode potential. Okay. Then according to IUPAC, what's the full form of IUPAC? I think you have learned it. We have find out names for the organic compounds using from this organization. What is that full form? Anyone know that? It is International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. Okay, just wait. International Union of pure and applied chemistry. Okay. We are deciding the actual names, that the nomenclature of organic compounds in chemistry. Okay. So according to this IUPAC, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, the standard reduction potential, this was the term that we were early used, but now it is called standard electrode potentials. Okay. So according to IUPAC convention, standard reduction potentials are now called standard electrode potential. Then we can see a list of the standard reduction potentials of all elements through the electrochemical series in the next section. Okay. Now you have to point out these two. A potential difference should be developed between the electrode and electrolyte, and it is known as electrode potential. And when the concentrations of the substances we are taken in unity, it is known as standard electrode potential. Is this clear for you? Do you have any doubt? Anyone? Have we completed? Shall I move to next one?
No,
Just
ma'am.
Okay, okay. Then you can tell me whenever you have completed. Okay. Finished, children? Yes, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then these things that we already discussed in the last class. In a galvanic cell, the half cell in which oxidation take place, it is called anode, and the half cell in which reduction take place is called cathode. That we already know. What do you mean by oxidation? That means loss of electrons. Oxidation means loss of electrons, and reduction means gain of electrons. Okay. So always anode is considered as positively charged and cathode is considered as negatively charged. So in anode, this oxidation take place, and in cathode, reduction take place. So in the case of electrochemical cell also, the half cell in which oxidation take place is known as anode, and the half cell in which reduction take place is known as cathode. Okay. And you know that there are two types of electrodes there. One is positively charged and the other one is negatively charged. And you have learned that there is one potential difference between electrode and electrolyte. Similarly, there exists a potential difference between the two electrodes. Okay, between the two electrodes. We already learned that there is a potential difference between electrode and electrolyte. That means zinc and zinc sulfate or copper and copper sulfate. It is known as electrode potential. In the same way, here a potential difference exists between the two electrodes. Okay, between zinc and copper, because one is positively charged and the other one is negatively charged. So due to this potential difference, electrons flow from negative electrode to positive electrode. Electrons flow from negative electrode to positive electrode. Here the negative electrode is cathode and the positive electrode is anode. So always the electrons are excess in cathode, right? Because they are gaining electrons. So excess of electrons there. These electrons move from negative electrode cathode to the positive electrode anode. Okay. So you have to point out these two things. The electron flow always from cathode to anode. But in the case of current flow, okay, in the case of current flow, is opposite to that of the electron flow. Electrons are moved from cathode to anode, but current will be flow from anode to cathode. Okay. So there are two types of half cells. First one is cathode and the second one is anode. Cathode in which reduction take place, anode in which oxidation take place. Due to this oppositely charges, potential difference exists between these two electrodes, and electrons can flow from the negative electrode cathode to positively charged electrode anode. But in the case of current, it will be in opposite direction. Okay. Is this clear? Shivani, can you read these points?
Ma'am, which one?
Yeah, four things you can read.
In a galvanic cell, the half cell in which oxidation takes place is called anode, and half cell in which reduction takes place is called cathode. Thus, there exists a potential difference between two electrodes.
Yeah.
Electrons flow from negative electrode to positive electrode. Direction of current flow in opposite to that of electron flow.
Okay. Is this clear? Do you have any doubt?
No,
Potential-
ma'am.
Yes, yes, dear.
Ma'am, that fourth point, can you explain?
Direction of current, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that means electron always flows from negative electrode to positive electrode because electrons are excess there in cathode. They are gaining all electrons. Okay. So electrons flow from cathode to anode. But in the case of current, it will always in opposite direction to that of electron flow. That's it. Okay. So it will move from anode to cathode. Okay. It is always like that. The flow of current is opposite to that of the flow of electrons. That's it. Shall I move to next one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all of you, please switch on your videos. So the last topic, it's clear for you, right? Do you have any doubt? Anyone? No. Shall I move to next one? Okay, next we are going to learn how to represent a cell. Okay, we learned that there are anode is there, cathode is there, electrolytes are there. Then how to represent a cell? We are going to learn how to represent a cell. Before that, all of you, please switch on your videos. Okay. Okay, so representation of a galvanic cell. First, we are going to learn how to represent a galvanic cell. Galvanic cell means zinc is there, copper is there as electrodes, and zinc sulfate and copper sulfate as electrolytes. Then we can learn how to represent a galvanic cell. Galvanic cell is generally represented by putting a vertical line between metal and electrolyte. Okay, you have to put just a vertical line like this between metal and electrolyte. Okay, between metal and electrolyte solution and putting a double vertical line between the two electrolytes. Like this, you have to draw a double vertical line between the two electrolytes. It is connected by a salt bridge. Let's look at this example, then it will be more clear. And you have to note down one point, that you must write down anode first. Okay, first write down anode, then cathode. Which one is the anode in galvanic cell? Zinc or copper? Anode, zinc or copper? Tell me.
Zinc.
Yeah, zinc, right? So you should write zinc first. After that, you have to mention copper. So zinc is the anode and copper is the cathode. If you look at this representation, first you have to write the metal, that is zinc. Okay, then it is separated by a vertical line. Okay, then it's electrolyte. Electrolyte means zinc sulfate is the solution. Here, zinc 2 plus and SO4 2 minus. So only need to consider this Zn2 plus. So you just write Zn2 plus. And also mention the physical states. Okay, here zinc is in the form of a metal, so you can write yes. Okay, it is in solid state. Next one, it is in aqueous state. That means zinc sulfate solution. Okay, zinc sulfate solution. So you have to write like this. First you have to write the metal, anode, that is zinc. Then you have to write the physical state. It's a metal, so solid state. Then you have to put a vertical line. Then you have to mention the electrolyte of anode, that is Zn2 plus. It is in the form of a solution. It is dissolved in water. That's why it is aqueous, AQ. Okay. Okay, so we just learned how to represent a galvanic cell, right? First, you have to find out the anode and cathode. And first, you have to write anode. Among anode, you have to first write the metal, that is zinc. It is in solid state. Then just draw a vertical line. Then you have to mention the electrolyte, Zn2 plus, because zinc sulfate is the solution, and in zinc sulfate it is in the form of Zn2 plus, then SO4 2 minus. Only need to represent this zinc ion. Okay, and it is in the form of a solution and it is dissolved in water. That's why it is in aqueous state. Okay, then you have to draw a double vertical line, that's to separate anode and cathode. Then you can mention the cathode. But here you have to note down, in the case of cathode, you have to first write the electrolyte, then the metal. Okay, that is Cu2 plus. Here it's also copper sulfate, Cu2 plus and SO4 2 minus. Only need to write this Cu2 plus. Then you have to again draw a vertical line. Sorry, here also mention aqueous state.
Ma'am,
The next,
ma'am,
yes, Achut,
why do we have two lines before Cu2 plus?
to separate anode and cathode. We have separated both anode and cathode using a salt bridge, right? Here also, we just separate these two using this double vertical line. And you have to mention this S. That means it's a metal that is in solid state. This is the method to represent a cell. This is in the case of galvanic cell. Okay. Is this clear? First, you have to write the anode, metal. After that, draw a vertical line. Then mention its electrolyte. Then draw a double vertical line. Then write the electrolyte of cathode. Then metal. Okay, do not get confused with these two order. Here, first electrolyte, after that metal. Okay, you have to remember like this. In oxidation reaction, Zn gives Zn2 plus 2 electron, right? And in reduction, copper plus 2 electron gives, sorry, Cu2 plus 2 electron gives Cu. So here first zinc, after that Zn2 plus. Here first Cu2 plus, after that Cu. So in this way you can remember this. Okay, in the case of oxidation, first metal, it is oxidized. Here in the reduction, copper ion gains electron and becomes metal. Okay, so here zinc electrode acts as anode and copper electrode as cathode. This is clear for you? Method of representing a galvanic cell, it's very important. Okay, you should know how to represent a galvanic cell. Then I will give one question. You have to represent a galvanic cell. Are you ready? Yes, right? Okay. Then this is the question for you. Okay, just represent the cell. Here correctly mentioned about a cathode and anode. You just need to represent its cell. Finished? Gayatri, can you tell me how to represent this cell?
Copper, then
Copper.
solid state,
Yes.
then a vertical line,
Very good.
then copper 2 plus aqueous state,
Okay.
then two
Then-
vertical lines,
Yes.
then 2 Ag 2 minus aqueous state,
Only need to write Ag plus. Okay. No need to mention the number of atoms or ions. Okay. Ag plus. Then
aqueous state, then a vertical line, then Ag
Okay.
solid state.
Ag solid. Very good. So this is the method to represent a galvanic cell. Now you got it, right? I hope you all got the same. Yes, dear.
Is it 2 Ag plus 2 electrons or 1?
Sorry, it's 1 electron. Sorry. Plus 1 electron. No, dear, it's 2 because 2 Ag here, right? 2 Ag here. 1 Ag requires 1 electron and then another one required 1 electron. So total 2 electrons. Okay, Achyut?
And so while writing in the cell, we don't have to write 2.
Only 1 Ag is represented here. That's why Ag plus. Okay. Only need to mention 1 silver ion. Clear?
Yes.
Ag plus requires 1 electron and another Ag plus require 1 electron. Only need to mention 1. Okay, clear? Achyut, this is clear for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So this is the method to represent a galvanic cell. Now, the next class we can learn how to find the cell potential, then electrode potential, etc. Now it's the time to wind up, right? So we have learned electrode potential, standard electrode potential, and how to represent a galvanic cell. Now, Rin, what do you mean by this electrode potential?
The potential difference between the electrode and electrolyte.
Very good. The potential difference between electrode and electrolyte, it is known as electrode potential. Then what about standard electrode potential? Ashwin, standard electrode potential. Ashwin, can you hear me? Ashwin,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, tell me standard electrode potential. Please switch on your video. All of you, please switch on.
Ma'am,
Yes,
electrode potential developed between the electrode and the electrolyte, which is called electrode potential.
I'm asking about standard electrode potential.
Standard. Okay. When the
Yeah.
concentration of all species
Yes.
involved in here half cell is unity, and electrode potential is known as standard electrode potential.
Okay. Concentration is in unity. It is standard electrode potential. And now you got the idea to write to represent a cell, right? Okay, then we can continue the next topic in the next class. What about the absentees? Okay, thank you all. See you in the next class.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.